Hello world, Cossy here with a belated Geek Movie review for the film Man of Steel. Now this is belated because unfortunately over the weekend when I was hoping to get this out after watching the movie, I proved that I am not Kryptonian by going out in the sun and getting sunstroke and spending 3 days sick in bed. So apologies. So those of you who don't know, Man of Steel is the new Superman reboot, rebooted by David S. Goyer and Zack Snyder with help from Christopher Nolan. The basic premise of the story is the origin of Superman coming from Krypton to Earth and leading to actually coming out to the world as being a superhero. So it is as much a Clark Kent as it is a Superman story in that respect. Now, what did I think of the film? Well, the film is very good. The storyline itself, not to give too much away, is a good modern retelling of the Superman mythos. It is a lot darker than previous tellings from TV and film, and even so much in the comic books. Much darker, much more as an after effect probably of the Dark Knight trilogy. We're seeing a more modernised, darker Superman. And for me, although it did work overall, I missed some of the lighter comic elements. I mean, this is 2.5 hours long, and it does very much feel heavy and weighted, and there are very few gleams of hope and light in the movie, and you expect those when you're talking about Superman much more than you expect from Batman. Now, that's not to say it's not a very good movie. It is. The storyline overall is very, very well told. It's fantastically shot. The acting doesn't get as much of a chance to shine as it should. In particular, people like Henry Cavill as Superman and Michael Shannon as General Zod. They're trying to give these fantastic performances, and they just end up looking good because Snyder has concentrated so much on the look of the movie. Action scenes that look like they've been ripped out of a Superman comic book and just put onto the big screen. We know Snyder can do this kind of comic book adaptation, so it should be no surprise, but it's fantastic we finally got to the point in 2013 where it can actually happen and you can go in and you can see what you would expect to see in a Superman comic book on the big screen. Props to that, at least. One character, one casting decision, because the casting decision overall, very, very good. One, Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Now, firstly, Amy Adams doesn't, to me, stand out as a Lois Lane. And secondly, the characterisation of Lois Lane in this movie is vastly flawed, doesn't feel right for the character. They could have got away with basically calling her something else and people would care less. She didn't feel like a Lois Lane. She didn't seem like the right choice. She is a brilliant actress and she is obviously beautiful, but she wasn't my Lois Lane, and it was the only man disappointing in what was a very, very stellar cast. And big props must go out to the two people who stole every scene they were in, Kevin Costner and Russell Crowe. My God, fantastic. I hope to see more of them in a future Superman movie, although obviously it will have to be told in flashback to do that, because both actors had so much gravitas on screen and so much chemistry with the other cast members. Brilliant, fantastic, want to see it. The score, Hans Zimmer gave a very dark and broody score which went with the tone of the movie overall, but didn't really fit for me as a Superman score, and even for a Zimmer score, seemed quite sloppy. Why they couldn't do what the Star Trek reboot did and throw us a bone at the end of the movie by giving us the classic, what we expect to hear, you know, in this case, the John Williams score, I don't know. I think it would have made the film a little bit better and added that very light tone at the very end that people will probably be looking for, because I say there is a darker Superman. Superman also, Cavill is brilliant as both Superman and Kent, but he does something, and I want to tell you now, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but very un-Superman-like in this movie. And it kind of upset me, and I'm not the biggest Superman fan in the world, much bigger Batman fan, but Superman should do certain things and shouldn't do certain things. He did something that was very out of character for him, and it kind of upset me, it kind of annoyed me, but didn't stop me from fully enjoying this film. If you haven't seen it yet, Man of Steel, go out and see it. It's a 4-star movie, and let's hope that they can iron out any of the faults that I've just mentioned in the sequel that's supposedly going to come at the end of 2014, so not long to wait. Okay guys, as always, thanks for watching. Down there's a like button, click on that, let me know you liked it. There's a link there to my last Geek Movie review, you can pop out and watch that. In the description box below is a link to my Facebook, my Twitter and my Tumblr. Follow me, follow this channel, find out what's coming up and what's going on in the world of me, Geek Movies and this channel. And until next time, au revoir.